Okay, evening everyone. I want to talk a little bit about Kosa Dachi. So Kosa means to cross, right? So crossing leg stance. If you're in a fight, there's a few situations where it would make sense to cross your legs. Not many. Most people like to keep their legs straight. You don't see too many pro fighters fighting out of a cross leg situation. So why do we do this in karate? What is its utilities, and where do we find it in the kata is what I want to talk about. So we have a kata, Pinan Shodan, comes this way, and then we go into Kosa Dachi and come across like this, and it follows up with a kick and a punch, and then we do the same thing on the other side, kick and punch. There's a few situations like that. In our Teko kata, we come around here, and then we come this way, and again, kick, punch, like this. So this crossing leg stance. To get into it properly, we start with the back leg. This starts out of a cat stance. I start by straightening my back leg, and then I bring my front foot around. So seeing it from here, I start with the back leg, and then I bring this around. What that does is it starts a rotation, and this rotation has utility. Other schools would do this by just coming across. So you're still creating a hip rotation and coming around this way. But what I'm also doing is I'm creating that hip rotation, but I'm also moving everything back, which creates a little utility. Alon, if I can borrow you, please. So we'll go on an angle this way. All right, so Alon, imagine I've just hit somebody here, and he wants to strike me right about there, right? So I'm engaged in this angle, and I'll show you a scenario where that would happen. And he wants to hit here. When this comes in, he wants to sink this about yay far into my rib cage, right? So I'm going to turn, right? So now come in and do the punch. So with that timing, it's just enough to make it miss. And now I have the advantage for distance because my shoulder is closer to him than his is to me. So from here, like this, comes around. I'm going to catch this here. I'm going to come around this way with it. This is a soto uke. So now I'm not using the uke to block something, but I'm using the uke, which means to receive the technique. I'm receiving this technique, and I'm using that to set it up. Following this, there's a kick. So if you can see, let's come around this way, Alan. This way, this way. So there's a kick, which is coming up into his face. Nastia, if I can borrow you. Okay, so I'm going to have you here. I'm going to have you here, so we don't want to close the camera off. So imagine I'm engaged here, and she has just tried to attack me. And I go, ha ha, I've defended myself. Now he says, why are you doing this to my friend? So now I come around this way, catch him here. And now I've created a situation where I actually use him as a shield in between myself and his compadre. So again, from here, just turning this way, kick, this way, here, kick, this way. The other thing it does for me is it creates distance. If I come in this way, it's very difficult for me to get a kick off. But if instead I come back this way, now my kicking range is extended by the fact that my hips went backwards instead of coming forward. Now that said, there are some situations, if you grab my hand here, come in Kosa Dachi this way, as in Pasai Shou and a couple other katas that have this. I can grab this way and I can come in. That would be an entering technique. But in Pinans, it's sort of a retreating technique, creating space, retreating technique, creating space. I can work inside this phone booth here. So thanks guys, and thanks for your interest. Kosa Dachi.